Welcome back to the cryptowrld channel, everyone. My name is Josh, and after the recent Bitcoin pullback, we are still sitting in extreme fear, but we have some major Bitcoin news today. I'll be covering that alongside the S&P 500, also finding a bit of short-term resistance and what that means for Bitcoin, and also some other Bitcoin patterns that are potentially playing out right now. So definitely make sure you're watching this video all the way to the end so that you're not missing out on any of this important information. And just before we jump into it, make sure to leave a like on the video down below. And if you're new to the channel, you might as well subscribe with notifications turned on for more updates just like this every single day. But with all of that being said, let's get straight to what this video is about. So right here, we're on the Bitcoin US dollar charts on the daily time frame, and this chart just here with these green zones, that basically shows us the time periods where the Bitcoin fear and greed index was sitting in extreme fear or close to extreme fear. And you can see here that right now, according to the Bitcoin fear and greed index, the current Bitcoin market is sitting in extreme fear. And historically, when that's happened, that has come in confluence with amazing buying opportunities for the longer term, talking about the next few months or so. And it's an even better buying opportunity when the daily RSI is close to oversold territories, as we've seen these last few times here. And that's exactly what we're seeing right now in the daily RSI as well. We are basically bottoming out here, and looking in the daily MACD, we are well into the negative territory, showing us that the potential room to the downside could be more limited compared to the room to the upside. But with that being said, we really need to wait for a bullish cross in the daily MACD in order to confirm any sort of new uptrend or recovery starting to form. And as of right now, we haven't actually seen that, so technically we haven't confirmed a recovery just yet, but we are showing a lot of other signs like the extreme fear and the RSI on the daily charts getting close to oversold territories, which basically tell us that either the bottom is in for this correction or we are getting really close to the bottom. And as I've mentioned in the past on this channel, the moment the Bitcoin price starts forming some higher lows and higher highs on the daily time frame in the price action, alongside higher lows and higher highs in the daily RSI, they are two very strong signals that we are beginning the recovery out of this correction. And once again, another confirmation signal that we can use is a bullish cross in the daily MACD. So as I said earlier, we haven't seen those just yet, but those are the type of things that I will be looking out for over the next few weeks possibly. And the subscribers out there would already know about this chart right here, but in case you're new to this channel, I've basically been explaining over the past few days that this recent pullback in the Bitcoin price from the all-time high down towards around 42,000 approximately, this entire pullback or crash or whatever you want to call it was a drop in the Bitcoin price by around 37 to 38% to the downside, which, believe it or not, that is a very standard correction for Bitcoin. And in fact, that was literally the average correction that we saw in the last bull cycle back in 2016 and 2017. I'm not going to spend too much time on this again because once again, I have been covering it recently on the channel over the past few days, but just quickly for the new viewers on the channel, looking at the 2016 to 2017 bull market, we saw at least 6 different corrections during that bull market that were in between a 30 to 40% correction to the downside. And even this year, in this current bull cycle that we are in right now, back in January this year, we saw a 31% pullback. And of course, during May this year, we saw a 50% crash in around 1.5 weeks. So this bearish price action is nowhere near the worst bearish price action that we've experienced in Bitcoin. And in fact, it's a very normal sized pullback for Bitcoin, according to Bitcoin's price history. And now jumping into some Bitcoin news. This story actually came out yesterday, but I didn't include it in yesterday's Bitcoin update video because it came out just after I posted that video. But for those that have been following me over on my Twitter, I let you know about this hours ago. So if you want to stay up to date in the crypto markets at all times, make sure you follow me over on my Twitter, and the link to my Twitter account is in the description down below and also in the pinned comments. But anyway, you can see here that Michael Saylor's company MicroStrategy has purchased an additional 1,434 Bitcoins for approximately $82.5 million in cash at an average price of around $57,500 per Bitcoin. And as of yesterday, MicroStrategy holds around 122,500 Bitcoins, which they have bought for a total of around 3.6 billion US dollars, which means the average price that they paid per Bitcoin was close to 30,000 US dollars. So if the Bitcoin price goes below 30K, then technically speaking, MicroStrategy would then be in a loss. But obviously right now, MicroStrategy has made billions of dollars from buying into Bitcoin. And so the fact that MicroStrategy is still buying Bitcoin on this recent pullback goes to show you that all of this recent bearish price action is only temporary, because obviously the smart money would not be buying into Bitcoin if they did not think it's going to go a lot higher in the future. And as I said on this tweet, Michael Saylor is buying the Bitcoin dip. Keep an eye on the smart money. They are not selling. And for any of you that might be new to the crypto world and don't really know who Michael Saylor is, he was an early investor into Apple, Facebook, Amazon, Google, eBay, and PayPal. So obviously that's been an incredible track record so far, especially in the tech space and in emerging markets. And so obviously this is a bullish signal for Bitcoin for the longer term. But right now, taking a look at the S&P 500 index on the daily time frame, we are finding a little bit of resistance close to these previous highs just here, coming in at approximately 4,700. And that's also because we have ran into this line of resistance in the daily RSI for the S&P 500. And so obviously if the S&P 500 can break above that resistance and more importantly break into a new all-time high, that would actually be very bullish for Bitcoin and the overall crypto markets. If you're new to the channel and you want to know why that is the case, definitely make sure you watch my last Bitcoin update video that I posted yesterday on the channel, because this is just a quick update following after my last Bitcoin update where I went into more detail about all of this in that video. And now zooming into the 2-hour time frame to take a look at the short-term price action for Bitcoin. And I mentioned yesterday that we were possibly forming this head and shoulders pattern on this 2-hour chart, as you can see. And since that video, Bitcoin did end up breaking to the downside, but we fell short of the technical price target, because measuring out the technical price target for this pattern, that was coming in closer towards around 45,500 approximately. So you can see here that the Bitcoin price reached around halfway between the break just there and that price target. And considering that the Bitcoin price is getting back above this neckline right now at the time of filming this video, if we see a little bit more confirmation here, such as a candle close, for example, then that basically invalidates this head and shoulders pattern. And right now, this line that we need to hold above is coming in at around 49,500 US dollars. But even though that head and shoulders pattern has just about now been invalidated, technically speaking, it does remain a possibility that we could form this head and shoulders pattern like this, with the neckline coming in at around 47.7k. But I want to make it clear that this pattern is not confirmed. We haven't even seen the right shoulder form, so it's just something to keep an eye on, and of course it's not guaranteed to actually play out. And so simply because of all of that information, right now I am very bullish on the Bitcoin price for over the next few months or so, but that doesn't necessarily mean over the next few hours or days, because obviously in the shorter term it's always possible to experience some more volatility. But according to all of this data and all of these charts, the probability of bullish price action over the next few months is simply higher than the probability of bearish price action over the next few months, especially after we've already seen a lot of bearish price action over the last 1 month. If you enjoyed this video or got something valuable out of it, please make sure to leave a like down below. And if you're new to the channel, make sure to subscribe with notifications turned on for more updates just like this every single day. As I always say, I honestly do appreciate all of your support on the channel at the moment. I can't thank you guys enough. And for the new viewers on the channel, before you click off, make sure you're checking out one of these uploads if you haven't already, because these videos just here can potentially help you make a lot more money in the crypto markets. But anyway, that is it for this video. I really hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you all in the next video.